Since the dawn of time, science, superstition, and suspense combining to capture our imagination.
So cool.
An event bringing us all together as we look to the sky.
This is just fabulous.
So grab your glasses and get ready for the celestial event of the decade. This is Total Eclipse 2024. Hi, everybody. I'm Al Roker.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. The anticipation is building as the nation prepares to experience a unique moment of togetherness on April 8th under a cosmic display of light and shadow visible in some way in all lower 48 states.
This is going to be so cool. Starting in the plains of Texas, the total shadow of the moon is going to glide diagonally across the country over almost every type of terrain before it exits off of Maine. And just like back in 2017, when the U.S. last experienced a total solar eclipse, the event is expected to bring together astronomers and enthusiasts alike, armed with boundless curiosity.
And guess what? We've got a really fun special for you, celebrating the shared camaraderie of the day.
We're going to take you to one of the first towns to experience totality and show you how they are getting ready to host massive crowds of excited onlookers.
I remember 7 years ago. You remember 7 years ago. It was such an amazing experience. Those kinds of moments leave a lasting impression, inspiring art, pop culture, and shared memories across generations.
The live phenomenon of an eclipse.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Has moved people throughout generations.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this before. I'd like to see it again.
The eclipse has been a mainstay in American pop culture.
We have totality, people!
Wow. And society across civilizations. One of the earliest mentions found in the epic poem Gilgamesh from 2100 BCE, written on ancient clay tablets. More modernly, it's been used across media, taking on many forms to represent difference and contrast, or to evoke suspense and reflection, to make us laugh.
The cosmic ballet goes on.
Does anyone want to switch seats?
Without warning.
Sing. Dance. But experiencing a solar eclipse in the moment is nothing short of sensational.
It was spectacular because not only to see it with the cloud cover, right, and the break, I think we had some divine intervention.
We really did. We were here for this. We were all here for this. How do you feel? You are here. You have seen history. We saw history.
My good friend Tom Costello is here now. And Tom, that was one heck of a time in 2017. What do you remember about that?
Only you could wear those hot pink pants, by the way. And you clearly, the audience loved them, obviously. You know, we were standing on that aircraft carrier. It was August.
Yep.
It was hotter than heck.
Yes. And, you know, we saw the thunderstorms all around us, and we thought we're going to get skunked. And then, like you said, all of a sudden this hole opens up, which made it even more dramatic.
We have this incredible photograph of the lightning bolt taken from the drone just right about the time of the eclipse.
Exactly.
Hitting just a few miles behind us. Very dramatic picture.
Yeah.
That was a great, great day.
You really get an idea about NASA. You know the ins and outs there. What are they doing to take advantage of this rare occasion?
You know, NASA really views every opportunity like this as an opportunity to share the enthusiasm for science and space and all things stellar. So even though it really doesn't impact the astronauts per se, or their missions to Mars or the moon or what, it wants to encourage all of us to become more involved and read in. And it loves that everybody geeks out this time of year. And that's why there are astronauts scattered across the country for this.
Yeah, well, you know, and what I love about it is it's a moment that unites us. It doesn't matter who you are, or what you feel, or whatever. Yeah. Everybody loves being together. And for that moment, for that period of time, we're all looking up and just imagining what.
But only with your sunglasses.
Exactly,
right?
with our special glasses, as we did.
But, you know, can I just make the point that there are people who are really concerned about this eclipse.
What do you mean?
There are people who believe it's the sign of the apocalypse. However, we had 70 total eclipses in the last century alone. We survived. But there's a whole
Why are they so worried about this one?
because the last one and this one, if you look at their past, they form an X over the United States. And there's a theory out there that would suggest that it's a dark mark on America, and we're going into Armageddon.
X marks
I don't
the
buy
spot.
it.
No. We just hear that.
We just hear that. Yeah, you decide. That's right. Listen, let's get back to the science of all of this.
Yes.
You've been talking to one of the great astrophysicists in the world. What is he saying about, and he provided you a lesson.
He really did, Tom. I tell you, I got a chance to chat with the renowned astrophysicist, Neil deGrasse Tyson, also an author, teacher, and head of New York's Hayden Planetarium. So, Neil, we are here in your house, the Hayden Planetarium.
Yes.
This astral event has got to be like your Super Bowl.
Well, a little bit, yeah, because it does all of its own advertising. Right? The universe is about to talk to us.
That's right.
With a total solar eclipse. Dude, this is the 21st century. People have cars, their trains, planes, automobiles. Just get your to the center. So can I say that? There are a lot of big cities in that path.
Yeah, Dallas is the first big
Dallas
one.
is a big one. Indianapolis. If you add up the population centers over which this eclipse will pass, more people may witness this eclipse than have witnessed any eclipse in the history of civilization.
Oh my gosh!
Yes!
That's crazy!
This is the universe affecting culture and civilization. Welcome to the universe.
Wow. Beautiful.
Okay.
I love it. How does this work exactly?
All right, let me get a couple of orbs. Just be right back.
Oh, we're getting orbs. All right.
All right. Why don't you hold on to Earth for a sec?
Okay, I'll hold on to Earth.
Okay.
Okay.
And I got the moon.
Okay.
So, these are in correct size relative to each other.
I didn't realize the moon was that big.
We got a bad moon around Earth. We have one of the biggest moons in the solar system.
Wow.
Okay. So, here's how it works. So, Earth and the moon always have a shadow in space.
Right.
Always.
All the time.
But the moon's orbit around the Earth is not always lined up with the sun.
Okay.
It's tipped. So here's the shadow. It misses the Earth.
Sure.
Okay? And could be down here. The shadow misses the Earth again. Every now and then, every couple of years, somewhere on Earth, the shadow will come right onto Earth's surface.
Right here.
The shadow in space.
So then the sun...
Wait, where did you come from?
Oh, wait, whoa.
Hey,
Lester Holt.
I'm just passing by.
Lester
I always
Holt.
wanted to be the sun.
You know, it's so funny because your mama says you're so bright. That's why she calls you son.
Exactly. So
he's where the sun should be.
Okay, I'm the sun.
He came in just in the nick of time.
This is where it's going to happen.
So you're lit up on the moon is lit up on the other side. From Earth, you can't even see the moon because it's lit on the other side. But you can see the sun. And as the moon orbits the Earth, it blocks the sunlight.
That's
so
right.
only one area will have total blackness.
One area, and it moves across Earth's surface. So that's why the eclipse has a beginning and an end. But here's something else that's really cool. Okay? When that eclipse occurs, it's coming across North America.
Right.
Okay? So there we have it right there. Got North America.
Yeah.
So here's the moon coming around. It blocks the sun.
Right.
You can't. Your sun has to stay where it is.
You don't
move. You don't move. We move. You don't move. Okay.
All right.
All right. If you're gonna be the sun, you gotta like
Stationary. Steady as a rock.
You gotta follow instructions.
That's why Lester's our anchor. Steady as a rock.
So the moon comes. Now watch.
Okay.
The Earth is also rotating in the same direction the moon is going around the Earth. So we experience more eclipse time than we otherwise would because we're moving with the shadow.
So it'll get like twilight?
Yeah, no, not even that dark. A little bit of sun is a lot of sun. If you were 99% coverage, okay, if the moon covers 99% of the sun, so 1% sliver still remains, that's the light equivalent of 10,000 full moons.
Wow.
So if you can move a little bit into the totality, do it. So let me talk you through the final moments.
Okay.
The partial phases. So the sun gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. And the crescent gets thinner and thinner. And in that last moment, sunlight only peers through the mountains and valleys of the surface of the moon. And as it does that, there's something called Bailey's beads. And they're called beads because it's just sunlight peering through mountaintops. And there's a little bead of sunlight there and a little wider bead over there, depending on how the mountains are spread. And so it's just called Bailey's beads. It's a fun moment. And when the last bit of sun remains to be hidden, that's a beam of light, but you can still see the rest of the eclipse taking shape. It looks exactly like a diamond ring. Wow. And we call it a diamond ring effect. And then the whole thing repeats in reverse. Imagine if the moon's orbit were in the plane of Earth's orbit around the sun. If that were the case, then every new moon, you'd have a total solar eclipse, and every full moon, you'd have a lunar eclipse. So it would happen every month. Wow. And people would just get bored by it. You might pause, oh, that's nice, but let's keep going, let's get a sandwich. So because things don't always align, it lends to the rarity of the event and the specialness of the event, which is why countless millions of people assemble when there's an eclipse.
People want to be together.
They want to be together and share a cosmic phenomenon together. So can I tell you a little, my favorite sentence I ever composed?
Sure.
The spinning planets orbit the sun along their appointed paths like pirouetting dancers in a cosmic ballet choreographed by the forces of gravity.
Wow.
That is beautiful.
It's okay, my man. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to get through this.
A big thank you to our friend Neil deGrasse Tyson and the American Natural History Museum for hosting us. And of course, my buddy Lester Holt for joining in the fun.
And something Neil said to you was that this eclipse has the potential to reach more Americans than any other in history.
That's amazing. In fact, crowds are expected to converge as it spans across the nation. And that means eclipse travel is actually a thing. It's expected to inundate cities, both big and small, that are in the path of totality.
That's right. NBC's Morgan Chesky has a look at some of the planning ahead of the eclipse and the economic impact of an event like this.
In the heart of the Texas Hill Country, nestled on the banks of the Guadalupe River, sits a town known for its natural beauty. This is Kerrville, Texas. Population 24,477. But in less than a week, Mayor Judy Eichner says that's all about to change.
Have you ever had to plan for an event of this magnitude of the scale?
And this is above and beyond anything.
If you miss today's eclipse, you'll have another chance in the year 2024. That's the year that Texas will see a total solar eclipse.
Monday, April 8th, the town has a date with celestial destiny. Kerrville expecting to swell by nearly 10 times.
They can expect a wonderful place to sit, beautiful atmosphere. There will be food trucks. There will be activities for the kids.
The town winning the eclipse lottery by sheer geography, located in the middle of the path of totality, where the sky will descend into complete darkness for a surreal experience lasting exactly 4 minutes and 24 seconds.
When that perfect alignment of both sun and moon finally happens, spectators may find themselves seated right next to scientists. NASA confirming that it chose Kerrville, not just because of its prime viewing location, but because of that critical time spent in the path of totality.
But for local businesses, perhaps the sweetest science of all, figuring out how to welcome thousands of potential new customers.
This is really Eclipse epicenter.
This is the epicenter, man. This is where we got everything.
Manager Doug Heltzer adding a whole new section to Gibson's, a long-standing general store where customers can now snag crucial Eclipse gear in addition to the usual.
We're selling Texas. We're doing cowboy hats, we're doing cowboy boots, we're doing Texas souvenirs, ball caps, coffee mugs.
If you only get one thing for the eclipse, make it a moon pie and some glasses.
Moon pie and some glasses, yep.
Gibson's hoping to make more from the eclipse than they would in a typical month.
So we're thinking Christmas times 2.
And for those who call Kerrville home, the moment promises a unique new chapter. Joe Herring was born and raised here.
I mean, Willie Nelson playing here. Pretty big deal.
It was a big deal.
But the eclipse.
Yeah, well, I love it coming. Big deal. Jimmy Rogers back in the 20s. Big deal. But the eclipse is far, I was going to say far outshines that.
Which is why Herring hopes to mark the event like he saved so many others. And come April 8th, he'll be looking skyward right alongside family.
For all those who are here and see it, it will live with them forever, too. You know, those memories of time together with people you know and love during a moment like this, you won't forget it. You'll remember for the rest of your life.
A town's legacy now written in the stars. Morgan Chesky, NBC News, Kerrville.
Now, don't forget, if you're going to enjoy the eclipse, you're going to need some Eclipse glasses. These babies are 100,000 times darker than regular sunglasses, but you can look up into the sun.
Also, though, how they're made and the creative ways they're being designed is a sight all in itself. I'll show you the remarkable world of Eclipse glasses up ahead. Hopefully, Al will come back. We'll also talk to some Eclipse chasers about their passion for this moment. Stay with us.
Oh!
Welcome back to NBC News Now and Today Climate Special as we count down to the upcoming total eclipse of the sun. It's an event that will stay in the memory of Americans for decades. But if you want to get that perfect mental snapshot, there are some safety precautions you need to be aware of.
Okay, now it seems like a no-brainer to say don't stare directly into the sun, but that's easy to get lost in the excitement of the day. So we've all done it, but it only takes a couple of seconds of focus on the sun, and you'll get a little sunspot in your eye, taking away from your experience.
Or even worse, actually, you can suffer from permanent damage even with just a few seconds without proper eye protection.
All right, so here are some important things that you need to know to watch the eclipse safely. First, as we said, do not look directly at the sun without eye protection. If you are in an area of partial totality, never remove protective glasses and filters. If you're lucky enough to experience totality, only remove the glasses and filters during the minutes of actual totality.
It's also important to think about what kind of eye protection you are using. NASA says glasses should comply with the International Standards Organization. So look for that designation when you're going to go out and buy those glasses. Look for this code on the glasses, ISO 12312-2.
There you go. Also, they're very cool to wear. You just look kind of incredible, don't you? Yeah. Well, and if you pick up a pair of these, there's a strong chance they came from Tennessee. A manufacturer there dominates the Eclipse glasses market. NBC's Maura Barrett visited the facility to show us the folks and process behind these lenses.
In any other year, American Paper Optics is the world's leading supplier of 3D glasses. But in a year with a solar eclipse like this one, there's a new focus: Eclipse glasses.
The main difference for a pair of Eclipse glasses versus traditional 3D glasses is the lens. We use an ISO certified lens to put in the Eclipse glasses, and this eclipse is going to be a much bigger deal than it is in 2017. And there's going to be a lot more people living on the center line. In 2017, we sold about 45 million glasses. In 2024, we're going to sell about 75 million glasses.
So nearly double.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Thousands of orders come in daily. In hopes to avoid the mad dash for glasses like we saw in 2017, the team ramped up their production, nearly tripling their staff.
I know so many businesses hire up for holiday season, and this is a very different type of holiday, it feels like.
This is a great holiday. This is what we would call like 30 Super Bowls. It's going to be amazing. Manufacturing info.
President and CEO John Jarrett took us on a behind-the-scenes tour.
We can manufacture 1.5 million glasses a day.
To see how these glasses make it from Bartlett, Tennessee, to the path of totality. 17 pairs of glasses are printed on each sheet.
So it's running through there nice. If you look inside there, we're punching out those eye holes.
It's a massive hole punch.
It is.
The sheets come out in stacks.
Everything lines up nicely, so it registers good.
Before the most important part.
That's gluing the lenses in. And essentially the sheet's rolling down there, and think of it as this way, we're printing glue.
The machine automatically folds the sheets over, sticking them together.
So this is looking more like what the final product will be.
It does, yeah.
The process is a blend of automation and work done by hand. The final step, cutting out the actual glass's shape and prepping them to ship.
They pull them out, rubber band them.
It just pops right out.
There you go.
Oh yeah, can't forget the noses. There we go.
Perfect.
They produce 50,000 glasses an hour before getting shipped off to major retailers like Walmart, Kroger, and Lowe's, or direct to consumer from online orders. Safety is key. John's team created the Core 4, points to look for to stay safe. You want to look for the name of the manufacturing company and its address, the ISO certification logo and code, manufacturer directions, and that the front lenses are silver while the back lenses are black. It's complicated but necessary because counterfeits are flooding the market.
It's very frustrating for us. These are all either counterfeit glasses or glasses that are not properly manufactured.
This one even has a very similar ISO label on it. So you have to be really careful.
You really do.
Checking off all the items on the Core 4 ensures your glasses have gone through specific safety testing.
This is such an important event, and your eyes are too important. This is it for 20 years until 2044, the next big U.S. total solar eclipse.
For 4.5 minutes of what John calls optical joy, optimum protection will last you a lifetime. Maura Barrett, NBC News, Bartlett, Tennessee.
It's been 7 years since the last total solar eclipse in the U.S., and it will be another 20 until the next one. But NASA says Earth experiences about 2 total solar eclipses every couple of years. And there is a community of shadow chasers that travel the world for totality. You all would call yourselves eclipse chasers. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. It only takes once.
What does it mean to be an eclipse chaser? What's the definition of that?
I would say it's somebody who's been transformed by their experience in totality and then decides that they need that again and again and again.
And my understanding, but tell me if this is right, you two were transformed just at the last one that we had here in the U.S. in 2017.
Yep, that's right.
What happened to you during totality?
So we drove 14 hours from our home in Rochester, New York to a little town called Kimmswick, Missouri. And it was just a complete moment of joy and calm for me.
It was really different for me because I thought, what is the big deal? It gets dark every night. I know what a shadow is. I was more than happy to go on a mother-daughter road trip, but I hadn't expected it to be transformative. At totality, when the moon has fully eclipsed the sun and you see the beautiful corona of the sun around it, you see the stars start to come out. All around the horizon, there's a 360-degree sunset glow of red and orange. I was actually only aware of 4 bodies in the entire universe: the sun, the moon, the earth, and me.
Eclipse chasing is a real community, right? What is that community like, and how strong is it?
Once people get captured by this, they'll travel literally to the ends of the earth to see the next one. So for a total eclipse in Australia back in 23, they had almost 20,000 people descend upon this one tiny little peninsula out in the middle of nowhere.
There are some record holders for seeing the most eclipses, and that is at 33. Anybody planning to break that record?
Oh.
You are the only one who
yeah,
can
I think you've got that better chance.
I started young enough. I might be able to do it.
Yeah. Is that a goal, maybe?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to.
How many eclipses have you seen?
I've seen 10 solar eclipses.
Tell me about capturing an eclipse and the art that you make.
I've currently done, I think, like 42 posters for this eclipse, extending all the way from San Antonio to Holton, Maine.
So, where will you all be on April 8th?
I'm working with New York State Parks. We're going to be up at Fairhaven Beach State Park on the shores of Lake Ontario, and we get 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
We will be at Genesee Country Village in Mumford, New York, right outside Rochester.
What do you want other young people who have maybe never seen an eclipse, maybe never experienced totality, to know or to think about, to encourage them to go check it out?
It is such a small, beautiful event in your life. It's getting in a car or getting on a train, getting to the spot and waiting. And it is such an emotional experience. It is such a personal experience that it can absolutely fit in your life.
With the eclipse countdown underway, tens of millions of Americans are finalizing their plans.
That they are. So we're going to tell you how you can maximize this solar spectacle when we return.
We're back for some final thoughts ahead of the total eclipse 2024. I mean, Al, Sunday scaries, thinking about the eclipse being over already. I don't want it to be over. And then the next one in the U.S. isn't until 2044.
Don't rush this. You got to savor it, okay? It's definitely not over yet. Right here on NBC News, we are going to be bringing you all the best coverage leading right up to it. And then on April 8th, we hope you'll tune in because we're going to be following the path of totality from Texas to Maine. We'll be in multiple places chasing the shadow across the country. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be in Dallas, the biggest city experiencing totality. And I think one of the great things about this is that total eclipse offers us a fleeting glimpse into really the mysteries of our universe, a reminder of our place in the vastness of time and space, offering a setting for all of us to see things in a new light, quite literally in the shadow of this life force of our solar system. The memory is something so many of us are going to carry. Our kids will tell their kids. So rare that at this moment, so many people will get to experience the same thing at the same time. Our universe is quite literally yelling at you to put your phone down for 4 minutes. Let's all come together.
Oh, you just made me emotional. And I can't believe I get to host a special about the total eclipse with you. Al, thank you so much. This was so much fun to get to do this. And thank you to Tom Costello for being with us, and also Maura and Morgan for their reporting.
Well, thank you, Savannah. It's always great seeing you and being with you. And thank you for watching. We're going to see you hopefully back here on April 8th for the total eclipse. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.